Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to preview the 2024 US Open Women's Final between Pegula and Sabalenka. And before I get into that matchup, let's talk about the semifinals. And let's start with Sabalenka against Navarro. I thought this was a high quality match, a very entertaining match. I love watching Navarro play, especially when she faces someone like Sabalenka because she's forced to play so much defense. She doesn't have the same firepower as Sabalenka, and she has to rely more on her defense. And boy, did she turn her defense on in that second set, because it looked like she was going to lose quite easily in straight sets, but she managed to break back in the second set and take that second set into a tiebreak. And the way she was able to do that was with spectacular defensive shots, forehands on the run, backhand passing shots. Just a really fun player to watch. Now, on the other hand, Sabalenka is such a brutal hitter of the ball. I've talked previously about the fact that Sabalenka has the highest average forehand speed at the US Open. And a lot of people are saying, but she hits the ball more flat and the guys have more spin. Yes, that is true. Sabalenka does not have as good of a forehand as Sinner, Alcaraz, and Djokovic. Not even close. The best way to hit a forehand is to hit it fast with a tremendous amount of spin. Sabalenka doesn't have a tremendous amount of spin. She does have topspin on her forehand, but it's not nearly as heavy as on the ATP Tour. That does indeed make it a forehand that's lesser in quality. However, she still hits the forehand harder than Jannik Sinner. And that's what I find so impressive. I saw similar data on Madison Keys a while back, where Dominic Thiem was the hardest hitter on tour, and Madison Keys at the Australian Open was averaging a higher forehand speed than any man. And guys, that is just incredibly impressive. But one interesting thing about Sabalenka is her serve. And I have made a serve video a while back about Sabalenka, and she has gotten rid of her double fault problem. She now kicks the second serve and doesn't double fault nearly as much. She did throw in a few double faults yesterday, but those were more high quality double faults. So the thing about double faulting is that when you intend to get the second serve in, and you kick it in and you miss it, that's not good. But if you go for the second serve, so in other words, you hit your second serve more like a first serve, there's an expectation there that it's a high-risk shot and there might be a mistake. So that is not as bad from a mental standpoint. So Sabalenka does go for her second serve every now and then, but now she has a reliable kick serve and she doesn't double fault nearly as much as she used to in the past. Now, her first serve was on fire yesterday. Both players, actually, Navarro and Sabalenka, made a tremendous amount of first serves consecutively. But you know what? They almost had to, because both of them are unbelievable returners. My favorite part about Navarro's game is how she returns. Both first and second serve, she can hit winners off her return, both on her forehand and her backhand. And Sabalenka reminds me a little bit of Sharapova, where when she gets the cheese on the second serve, she absolutely demolishes the return of serve. So the thing about playing Sabalenka is that you better keep your first serve percentage high, because when Sabalenka gets the chance to pounce on a ball, she will, and she makes those shots. If they come back, she steps into the court and puts it away with a swing volley. Now, the Pegula-Muchova match was so interesting because it's one of those matches where you can clearly see that 1 point can flip the whole match. So Muchova was dominating up a set, a break, and a chance at 2 love to get a double break. And if she gets the double break, there's a high likelihood that she's going to win the match. And she had an easy volley that she didn't convert on break point. And that gave Pegula the belief, hey, if I tough this game out, hold serve right here, maybe I can still get into this match. And she surely did. She broke back and Pegula started playing amazing. To me, Pegula is such a clean ball striker. The way she redirects the balls, especially when she goes down the line on both her forehand and her backhand, is just beautiful to watch. Now, she said that she worked on her movement with her coaches and she has exceptional footwork, but she's not one of the fastest players. So I have made a video way back going in great detail explaining the difference between speed and footwork in the game of tennis. I highly recommend that you check this video out. I'm going to link it in a pinned comment. So looking forward to the final. That to me is going to be the biggest hurdle to overcome for Pegula for the following reason. She likes to play closer to the baseline. And Sabalenka, as I explained, is the hardest ball striker on the WTA Tour. And while Pegula does have good footwork, in other words, she sets up really well for the ball, when Sabalenka is able to get the ball away from Pegula with a tremendous amount of speed, this is where speed and not footwork is required. So for Pegula to have a chance in this match, to me, it would be helpful if she backed up and played more like Medvedev. But that's not going to happen because Pegula's game is built on playing closer to the baseline. And if Sabalenka can keep her unforced error count low, if she can expose the relative lack of speed on Pegula's side, she's going to win this match. And of course, as I said previously, if you give Sabalenka a weak second serve, she's going to demolish it. So the first serve percentage, keeping that number high, is going to be key for Pegula if she wants to have a chance to win this match. Now for Sabalenka, it's going to come down to whether she can keep her game clean and whether the nerves are going to be a factor or not. Last year against Coco Gauff, her nerves did let her down. It's going to be somewhat similar this year because she's playing an American again, and that's not going to be easy. But if Sabalenka can keep her mental game sharp, she can be consistent through the vast portions of the match, she will be the 2024 US Open champion.